Well, all the other planners on the internet are talking about their planner stacks that they're planning on using for 2025. Here's mine. It's all right here on my iPad because all of my notebooks are in OneNote. And today I want to show you what I've used in 2024 and what I plan on using in 2025. So if that sounds interesting, stay with me. Well, hi everyone. This is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today I want to talk to you about all of the different planners that I have used in OneNote, of course, throughout the year of 2024 and what I plan on taking into 2025. Okay. As many of you know, if you followed me for any time, you know that I say that OneNote is my life management tool because it truly is. I know there's other terms out there. You know, a lot of people are talking about my second brain or my trusted source or, you know, my planner stack. For me, OneNote is all of that rolled into one. It basically has everything that I need to keep track of in my life in OneNote. So without further ado, let's jump right into the computer and take a look at what we have going on today. All right, well, you can see here I created a cute little graphic for the planner stacks for 2025. You know, I just really want to show you that you can do just about anything in OneNote, and it is very, very helpful. I do want to say that if you learn something new today, or if you get inspired by something that you see here, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done so. If you are new to YouTube, subscriptions are free. All you have to do is click the subscribe button. You don't have to add any information. There's no cost to you, but it really does help out the channel for the content creators. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with our video today. All right, well, I'm excited, you know, when I think about all of the planners that I use, I was excited to, you know, come up with this whole long list. And I want to tell you right off the top that probably just about every video that you see, you're going to know that there would be a video that I made showing you how I created that notebook or showing you how I use that notebook. So I'm not going to say every time there's a video for that and I'll link it up above. I simply will link the videos in the description box below so that you can see them if you would like to. Okay? All right. Well, let's get started at the beginning where all of this started. Way back here in my personal notebook. My personal notebook is the very first notebook that I ever started. And you can see this is where I grabbed those cute stickers from. This is from Doodlebug Draws, and she does some really cute stuff. I will also leave her stuff linked below if you're interested in checking out her Etsy shop. Let's see. So in my personal notebook, you can see here across the top that I have a section for lots and lots of things. So quickly, I have a sticker section, and as you can see over here on the side, on this far right-hand side, I have many, many, many pages of stickers. So one of my goals for 2025 is to break out this sticker section into its own notebook and start dividing it by topic or holidays or season or something like that. Okay, so that will be an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that one. And then I have some here for budget, some calendar items where I collect different calendar layouts that I like, some car information for when I have the car serviced or repaired or all of that kind of thing. I kind of keep a general maintenance list for my vehicle. I started here with some church things and some home things, but as those notebook sections have grown, I have broken those out into other areas. Just like my craft ideas here, right now my craft ideas has, you know, things that you find on the internet that you think are cute or something that a friend might give you that you think is cute. So for example here, here's a Christmas pillowcase with a poem. Maybe you have some little ones in your life that you would like to, you know, make this for. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe you're working on a craft project for, you know, a craft show or something, and you think this is a good idea. All of those things work and can be stored in OneNote. What I did when my craft section got too big is I started actually creating my own quilting notebook, and you'll see that in just a few minutes. Same for travel. As your travel section gets big, you certainly can break that out. And you see here, I have lots and lots and lots of other sections within this particular notebook, okay? So this is kind of where it all started. And if you're just starting with OneNote, your personal notebook will probably be the first one that you create. You know, it's kind of a dumping ground for all kinds of things, all right? So that's where mine started. I have pages back to, I don't know, 2009 or before, a long time ago. So I've been using OneNote for a long, long time, okay? My most current notebook that I use is my 2024 Life Planner. This is the one that, you know, we were looking at the top of the video. And what I do in this is I really actually use it as my planner. And so here you can see I'm in week 3 of December, and I have all of the things that I need to get done in December, and I'm kind of organizing my life. It is a baking week for me, so you see I have my cute little baking graphics here. These graphics are stickers that my daughter drew for me, so that's kind of fun. I like being able to use those. This is just one way that I organize my week, and then I also have daily pages. Let me show you a daily page. So here is my blank Franklin Planner daily page that I have used in the past, okay? All right, so my 2024 Life Planner, as you can see here along the top, has a year-long section where I keep a long-range calendar and anything that I will refer back to over the year. So my home maintenance checklist, my garden checklist, all of those kinds of things, perpetual birthday calendar, all those things are stored in the year-long section. Then I have a basic month section that I set up, which are the most important pages that I want to have in each and every month. This one is interesting. I went to Calendarpedia, which is one of my favorite calendar websites, and I actually downloaded a weekly calendar that looks like this, and they have them for every week of the year, which I thought was pretty interesting. I was toying around with using something like this at the beginning of the year. I never really used it, but I do think that it's interesting that it is there and available to use. It would be a very quick and simple 2-column table to set up if somebody was looking to create this for themselves. And then in my planner, I also have my goals section where I keep track of my goals yearly and quarterly, broken down then by the week as well. I have projects that I'm working on, and then I have a section for each month. So I have January, February, March here, and if you click on this little down arrow, you can see April, May, June, July, August, all the way down to December, which is the current month that I am working on, okay? All right, so that's my 2024 Life Planner. Love, love, love it. I have been doing this now as a digital planner since 2020, so 4 complete years, and I don't look back. I would never go back to a paper planner. The search functionality of this, the ability to be able to sync to my phone, to my iPad, to my desktop, all of that stuff, you just can't do that with a paper planner, and I'll never go back. All right, moving on. So you see here on the list, I also have last year's 2023's Life Planner, and I keep that available because there are things that I, may have researched, like, this parks and hiking trails page that I want to be able to go back and look at. So I don't actually want to close that notebook because I do go back from time to time to look at it. But it is set up very much the same way. Year-long stuff, goals, projects, and then every day of the month. And then also I set up a section for what I wanted to include in my 2024 planner. Okay? All right. And then my daily 5-year journal, I have a 5-year journal that I set up so I can record a little bit every day about what happened. And I think that's kind of cool to be able to see what has happened year after year. Here is a sample page from that journal. I started with an index back in January when I set this up. If you go to a sample page here, you can see that I have it set up with a place for things that happen in my personal life, a place for things that happen in the garden, and you know, I can do January, let's say I want to do 2025 or 2024 here. I can go into January and do 2024, and then I can hit enter and type whatever I want. And then I can jump down and do January 2025. Okay, and I can keep going. It can be a perpetual, I call it a 5-year planner, but it could go indefinitely if you wanted it to. Okay, all right, and again here you see I have it set up for every month of the year. Okay, and then I also have some just general prompts that I may want to store. So here are some January prompts, things that you're thinking about. Maybe you go to your journal page and you think, I don't have anything to write today. It was kind of a dull day. Maybe there's a journal prompt that will get you started on writing something. Okay, so I do have journal prompts stored in here as well. My 5-year journal. Okay. All right, so that's staying in my planner stack for the upcoming year. Then I have my Crystal Clear Life, or CCL, notebook. And in my CCL notebook, I have, well, this is actually my stats page that I keep track of, you know, how many subscribers I get, how many views, all of that kind of stuff, my Instagram and Facebook following, and I have that for the entire year. This is also a notebook where I keep my videos that I created in 2024. Those are all my scripts, the descriptions and all that kind of stuff. I have 2023 videos in here. I have videos from prior years, and I have a video idea section, an Instagram section, any slides that I might want to create. I just have lots and lots of clients that I've talked to, different graphics that I have, all of those kinds of things. They all kind of stay in my business notebook here for Crystal Clear Life. Okay, that one's definitely staying in 2025. Now, this next one started out as a test notebook, Crystal's test notebook, and that was for me creating pages that I wanted to share a video on, but that I was not currently actually using in my notebook. Well, this page or this notebook ended up being really a student teacher kind of education kind of notebook, because I started creating some student pages in here, and then some contacts. Then I started with a teacher planner and started creating sections for each of the subjects that I might teach. So it really just kind of has become like an educational planner notebook. And I do refer to it from time to time. Some of the pages that I created in here, for example, for field trips, also work great for family outings or to plan group events. If you have, you know, a group of friends that want to go to the theater and dinner and that kind of thing. Those kinds of forms work well for all of that. So I leave this up in here, and it is a notebook that I go back to time and time again. And can I just say, I love the graphics that I used in this notebook, and I love the color of this notebook. I'm trying to think about which notebook design I want to use for 2025, and this is really one of the top runners, although I'm looking for something that's kind of neutral that goes with everything. We'll see what happens. All right. My next notebook is my quilting notebook. That really came out of my crafting section being too big in my personal notebook. You see here I created a notebook background for it that has kind of a gradient look to it. I used a picture of a quilt behind it. And then this is the dashboard really that I created so that I could get to all the other sections pretty quickly in my quilting notebook. So I have a quilt planner. So if I'm going to create a new quilt, I have a planner for that. UFOs is unfinished objects. Those are projects that you get started on and then you don't finish, and then they just kind of get put to the side because other things take priority. I want to keep a list of those because I do intend to go back and finish those projects. Quilts completed list, and that's really just a project list. Let me show you quickly what that looks like. It is a list that goes back quite a long ways. Let's see, there's some old things in here, but I just add things to the bottom down here. Like one of the last quilts that I finished was my Recess Games primary quilt. That was a UFO that I finished. Home is Where the Heart Is quilt for Melissa, who moved to England for a little while, and I just wanted to give her a quilt to remind her of home. There's a baby quilt, a graduation quilt. So again, it's kind of a way of memory keeping for me, but I can also, have links to these projects. Like here is a link to Sarah's graduation quilt, so I can go back and look and see what that was all about. Okay? All right. So back here again on the dashboard, here is a quilt project inventory of all the other projects that I have, not things that I've started yet, just things that I've collected. And then a quilt pattern inventory. Those might be table runners or pillowcases or, whatever. Okay. So this is another notebook that is an ongoing using notebook. I'm not going to get rid of it. I will continue to use it in 2025. My book journal is also a book notebook that I continue to use. This was one of my recent books that I finished in the fall. It was really cute. It was a Melanie Travis canine mystery, and it was called Halloween Murder. And you see here I put a picture of the book, I put the basic plot, I put some of my favorite quotes and references, that kind of thing, why I decided to read this book. And I have book discussion questions when I used to run a book group. So I have lots and lots of book discussion questions, a section for movies, books, and music that I would like to read or take into my TBR. So here's my TBR right here. Here are page templates. There are stickers that have to do with books. And I just love my book journal. I use it a lot. The one section up here that I didn't talk about is my challenges. And I kind of have a 365 book challenge where I list the books that I read and I put them in the month that I happen to be reading them, if it was an audiobook or a physical book or an ebook. So I think that's kind of nice to have as well. Okay. All right, moving on. That's a keeper. I'm going to keep using that one. My landscape planner notebook, as many of you know, I am a gardener. All right, so here in my landscape planner notebook, I tend to add things to my garden all the time. This was a cute graphic that I found from the Cornell Bird Academy, and it was really talking about garden plants that attract different birds, and that is one of my goals here, is to attract different birds. So I'm always interested in learning new things. So I have put this graphic in there to help me remember bird-friendly garden plants. But you can see here across the top, I have an overview of my landscape notebook. I have different things for my bird garden. I have work specifications if I need, like workers to come in and do something. I have a plant list and cost. I have design ideas for the front garden, the west garden, the east garden, any edibles that I might grow, and the circle garden out front. Just all those things. The fruit trees that we have peaches and apples and Asian pears out in the little orchard that we have. Ideas for different containers that I might want to do around the house, that kind of thing. And then going up the edge of the driveway, we have just a row of beech trees and daffodils planted under those. Okay, so I kind of like to keep track of all of that stuff. This notebook will definitely be staying in my collection for next year. Next one is my medical health and wellness. This was a very important notebook for me. I created it a couple of years ago, and I have been using it ever since. I used to just store medical stuff in my personal section, and I realized that that was getting too big, so I wanted to break it out and create a notebook. So you can see here I have a section for myself, for my husband, and for my daughter. This is currently the page template, so these are the blank pages that I created. This is a medical history form, and this is a medical appointment form. So I use this one a lot. If I am going to the doctor, I will put pre-visit preparations. I'll think about any questions that I want to ask the doctor, any problems that I'm having that I want them to look at, and then I actually record this information when I am in the doctor's office. And that's really helpful for me to be able to go back and look at, that kind of thing. Okay. I also have a research section in here. You know how if you get diagnosed with a new, something that you haven't had before, you want to go on and start researching. That's what that section's for. So the medical health and wellness will definitely be staying with me for next year, as will the Read Family Recipes. So I have recipes here, and I just added this recipe the other day. It was something that my husband sent me from the newspaper, and it is quilt block sugar cookies. Now, as a quilter, you know I'm interested in these, right? Those look absolutely gorgeous. So I wanted to try this one, but you can see that I have, basic ideas for appetizers, soups, basic things, salads, sandwiches, entrees, side dishes, pasta. And then again, this little down arrow has more sections: pie, bread, cakes, breakfast, things for my ninja foodie to do, beverages, and then some general information. General information is like measurement, substitutions, those kinds of things. So you can see that my recipe section started as a little section in my personal notebook and then exploded into a large notebook. This one's definitely a keeper. All right, and then my home improvement notebook. For example, this is just one example page about places to get mulch, when I got it, how much I paid for it, what I've done over the years, to kind of keep track of mulch. Any contractors that we've needed to use on the house, your HVAC guy, your septic tank guy, your well guy, your pavement guy, all of that kind of stuff. This is more of a reference notebook for me, but I do use it a lot. That brings me back to my personal notebook, which again, you can see some of these sections started up here. Like there is a recipe section right here. There's a travel section, all kinds of things. Okay. Then I did a Christmas notebook, and this was one of the pages that I just used recently for a video, Time to Decorate the Fly Lady Way. But you can see here, I have sticker albums that have to do with Christmas. So a place to put a bunch of stickers that I can use in other planners. The DCP Digital's original Christmas planner that I got, the Fly Lady notebook that I got, Lost Without a Plan did a beautiful notebook as well. So you can see hers here. And I just brought this in as a PDF. I think I've talked about this one before. And then DCP Digital's put out a 2023 planner, and I downloaded that one. So I'm just kind of keeping them all together in my little planner section. Okay. All right. And then the last one that I use a lot is one that I actually purchased from Genuine Studios. This is a project management planner. She sells through Etsy, and I have used a lot of her, especially her project index, that kind of thing. She does a really good job. So she's got a dashboard here, and let's say here's a project outline. If you can't come up with your own ideas for how, what to do for a project outline, she has an idea here for you, a vision statement, who's working, who are your stakeholders, what's the problem statement, what's the background, all of that kind of very formal business type of project that you might be working on. Okay. She has lots and lots and lots of templates and things in here that I think are really, really great. Okay, so I leave that one open as well because I refer back to that frequently. Now, some of these down here that you see at the bottom, for example, my 2020 life planner, I don't use that very often anymore. This happens to be one of the baking plans that I was working on in 2020. And you can see here, I kind of liked the black paper. I thought that was cool. I like it with the white text on it. And this was my baking plan for the week. I was going to take a whole week and do my baking and break it up like you see here. Okay. All right. This notebook I could actually go ahead and close if I wanted to. Right now it's still in my list of open things, as is my 2021 planner and my 2022 planner. So actually I have 5 complete years of planners that I've been doing in OneNote. Okay. Then down here at the very, very bottom, I have a shared notebook that I use with a friend of mine. We share educational ideas back and forth in that. And then I also have my husband's notebook open if I need to look up anything that might be stored in his notebook, because he's working on travel plans and that kind of thing as well. All right. Okay, so that is it. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different journals or notebooks that I'm using currently, and I will take all of these forward with me in 2025. The great thing is they all fit in my iPad. So I really have all 14 notebooks in just this thin little device. And, you know, it has a built-in keyboard, so that's why it's a little bit wider. So I have my Apple Pencil stored right here in this little pocket sleeve that I use for doing the writing, like you see here on the screen in the white ink. You know, you can use all different colors. I also have red and green ink on this particular page. Then on my iPad, I also have a little pocket that I've put on the outside so that if I have little notes, that I don't want to forget, I can just tuck them right in there. And then when I go back and do my weekly review, I go through the papers that are in here, transfer anything that's important into my notebook, and then throw these papers away, okay? But it is a nice, handy little way to keep everything together, all right? Well, there you have it. That is the extensive list of binders or notebooks or planners that I will be using in 2025. They're all stored in OneNote, and they are kind of perpetual, ongoing notebooks, which I really, really love. I think that is great. And then again, as something gets too big, I break it out into a smaller notebook, okay? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at my planner stack today. And here's hoping that 2024 ends on a good note for you. And stay with me, because next week we're going to start taking a deeper look into what worked in 2024 and what I want to add in 2024, okay? All right, well, until then, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote for just about everything. All right, until next time, bye.